Welcome to Yard Work this week. This is the loss by the Miami Dolphins against the Denver Broncos, 20-13. This is the first drive of the game. It's 3rd and 6. The ball is at the 29-yard line. And we're running it right here. So until they set, let's stop it. Once Gesicki gets set. And what they're trying to do here is pretty simple. Okay? They have a go route up top. And then they're going to run what is kind of like a delayed release. And they're both in cuts. But there's a twist action to try to get out into the slot by Malcolm Perry. Out here, there's a very interesting route being run by Jakeem Grant. It's completely timed to coincide with this reverse right here. So he's going to come up here. He's going to stutter step like if he's going to try to delay a slant. And then he's going to take his man upfield. And he beats him. And he beats him soundly. And we're going to see what happens with this play. Let's run it. And we're going to run it slow so you can see what happens. Right there you see, and let's stop it. That's Tua at the bottom of his drop. And as of right now, what does he really have? Okay? Right now he has Gesicki on the crosser. Okay? Now this safety really wants to take away this deep ball. Okay? But there's that pocket right here that Tua can throw into. That's pretty much what he has. He does not see, however, what is happening down here. But he will see it a little later, as you can see, as we slow it down. Here he comes. He has to escape, and now he's escaping to his left, and Jakeem has his man beat. Tua throws it up, and he just misses him. That's a touchdown, if you could put it on him. High degree of difficulty really throwing that on the run, but he has to give him a chance. He has to drop it on him somewhere. He has his man beat so badly. You got to think that's a pass he has to hit eventually, because he can hit that pass. He's hit it before. He's hit it in college. We're going to watch this slow so you can get a flavor of how the play develops. Of course, the easy thing to say is, and you're going to get to see it right here as he gets to the bottom of the drop, or we're going to stop it again. Okay? You can see Gesicki clearing. He's at the bottom of his drop. He said it, and let's bring it back a little bit. I know we're spending a lot of time on this play, but it's really worth it. Okay? He said in his post-game press conference that sometimes that Ryan Fitzpatrick told him guys that look covered in the NFL are usually not covered. Guess what? This right here, that's not covered. Because if he leads them right down the hash, you got to think this player is flat-footed. The guy covering Gesicki is flat-footed. Gesicki's in a dead sprint. He's going to cross his face, right? So let's see how it turns out. If Tua does have a completely clean throwing lane to get that crosser to Gesicki. Let's run it. And you see he is coming open. Tua escapes now and throws this go route to Jakeem, and he, as you can see, he's pretty wide open, but he overthrows him pretty badly. Wish we could have had that one, the one that got away. All right, the Broncos got the ball. 13:15 left in the first quarter. It's 3rd and 10. They got the ball at their own 20-yard line, and we're running it, and we're going to see something that Denver actually is known to do a lot of, and we're going to see what the Dolphins attempt to induce here. This is Noah Fant. He could get deep on people. Now this is Eric Rowe, and we know that Eric Rowe is probably going to have Noah Fant. Now Drew Lock has a decision to make here. What they like to do a lot is they like to run these 3-by-0 formations. They like to run triplets and then have the tight end on the opposite side and then try to isolate him on a safety where they could throw go routes, they could throw out routes to him, they could throw even hooks. But they really like Noah Fant in this regard. So what do the Dolphins do? They're showing like, okay, it's going to be man here. And as of right now, it looks like man, okay? Right? But you're going to see they're not playing man. They're playing what is actually referred to as a box zone. And what they do to Noah Fant is they're really trying to induce a throw this way. But you're going to see that they're doing this amoeba thing where you don't know who's coming. Maybe 6 are coming, maybe 7 are coming. We don't know which guys are dropping into coverage. Well, one of the guys that drops into coverage is Kama Grugier Hill, and he's going to get into the short zone. And they have him completely taken away. They have Noah Fant taken away short. They have him taken away deep. Drew Lock recognizes that and does a really good job of coming off of Noah Fant. He does a bad job of doing something else, though, as we're seeing. Let's slow it down. As you can see, 4 come, and now they're dropping. And it looks like man, although if Drew Lock is really, top flight quarterback, maybe he recognizes how wide Byron Jones is and recognizes, okay, this is some type of zone. I'm going to have to hit the guy that's sitting. Or who knows, maybe I'm going to have to throw it away. But as you can see over here, Noah Fant, they're going to have him essentially double covered here. Okay, but let's keep running it. And there's Drew Lock at the bottom of his drop. And he's feeling some type of pressure, but he's stepping into a throw. And what does he really want, right? I don't know. I don't know what he sees. But what he doesn't see is the Dolphins are playing a box zone. And they're taking away the route combinations right here. And they've essentially assigned, which is the 6 DB right here in Perry, to take whatever is short of the triplet formation over here. So, what is he going to do? He's essentially going to throw it right at Xavier Howard. That's what he's going to do. Great way to disguise coverages. There's the interception. And the Dolphin defense gets their offense another short field to work with. Damn, get away, Xavier. Get there. Got to the 20. Let's see it from Drew Lock's perspective. Like right there, he really doesn't know who's coming, who's going, right? But to his credit, and right there, he's going to throw it. What does he really see? Well, what he doesn't see is that Xavier Howard, the guy with, at this point, 5 interceptions now, he has a 6, is sitting right in front of the route. So, yeah, that's a mistake by Drew Lock. He did very well to come off of Noah Fant as he recognized the double. And let's see if he even looked that way. Let's run it. No, he completely ignored Noah Fant. He's locking in on that route combination, and he throws that interception. Because he's completely locked in, he throws into a box zone, throws it right at Xavier Howard. All right, the score is 7-0. There's 8:49 left in the first quarter. It's 2nd and 6. The ball is the 30-yard line, and the Dolphins want more. You want to be up 14-0 here. Okay? So, what do they try to do here on this play? On the 2nd and 6. I'll draw it up for you, and we're going to run it until Jakeem comes in motion so you can see what they're trying to do. They're up against nickel, but it's well disguised. Like, they bring a 5-man pressure. And you see here he comes into motion, and we're going to stop it right at, let's bring it back. Here he is in motion. Okay. So what he's trying to do here, Jakeem Grant is going to release out into the flat, and he's a safety valve. Okay. This is Antonio Callaway, by the way. Okay. He's going to try to work up the seam, up to the seam on a crosser, and then take it up to try to occupy one of the safeties or to try to create a switch right here in the middle of the field as Devontae Parker runs a crossing route. This is a very common route combination. Most defensive backs are capable of calling this switch. If they don't, they're going to leave somebody wide open. I'll let you to judge what happens. And we're running it slow. And there's Tua dropping back, and there's the pressure. It's a 5-man pressure, and it's picked up. And here he is stepping up, and there's Tua stepping up, and he has to be seeing, okay, where's the switch? Who's going to come from which side? Who's going to pop open? I know I have my safety valve right here. And oddly enough, he's out there with a linebacker. If Jakeem could make this guy miss, if he could just dump it off, right? But no, we're going to hold it just a second longer. It's a 5-man pressure, but it's picked up so far. And one of the guys that was rushing is on the ground, okay? But Tua's stepping up, and we're going to see what happens here. He sees it. And right there, it's wide open. The crosser's wide open. He sees it. So this is a big gain, right? Here's the sticks. We're talking about, like, this could be a 30-yard gain, right? So what happens with it? There's the throw. It's wide. He missed it. He missed the throw. And we're going to see it now from his perspective, so you can see what Tua sees. He brings Jakeem. And we're going to bring it slow here so you can see it. And there's that nickel blitz right there. Look at this block. Nice job, Matt Breida. Look at Tua. He steps, throws it, misses Parker. Should have had that one. Left 25 yards on the field there. All right, this is the very, very next play. It's 3rd and 6. And Chan Gailey gets them out into this 3-by-1 formation, but they're going to go empty. These are 3 wide receivers. I'm going to show you what they're trying to do. There's Patrick Laird coming out wide. And they do something very interesting. They're not going to switch right here. If you saw that cornerback look back at the safety and said, okay, are you coming out to Laird and I take Gesicki inside? And he says, no, you're going to flex out. You're going to take Laird. And this is the route combination that they're going to try to pull off, okay? Now, Laird's going to take him up the field. He's just a clear out, okay? Gesicki's running a crosser, okay? Devontae is running a flag route as they're going to do some type of switch. And you're going to see exactly what happens here on the play. And you got to figure the side where the triplets are, okay, where trips are, that's where your primary has to be, right? We're going to see what happens with Tua on this play. I'm going to run it slow. And we're going to stop it. That's the bottom of his drop, and he's going to step up, right? Now, what does he really have at this point? At this point, he really has to take an extra half count to see what happens with the flag route. This is Devontae Parker, so you got to figure he's at the top of the progression. It's 3rd and 6, okay? But he absolutely has. Here's the sticks, by the way. He absolutely already has Gesicki on the crosser. And he has Jakeem right here on this crosser. Okay? Although, this safety is absolutely trying to take this away. He thinks it's the primary. And by this safety biting on this crossing route, we'll see what happens. We're going to run it really slow. And there's Tua stepping up into the pocket, and what happens? The cross is still open, and it could be open to the far side of the field here, but the flag route is wide open, and that pass has to get made. He has to be looking at it, and you got to figure, okay, well, Tua is 6 feet tall. He can't see over the line now. He has a clear passing lane to get this pass off. So he either has this or he has this, but he has to get this because it's wide open. I don't know if he scores, but it could be 40 yards. Let's see what happens. He holds it, he holds it, he holds it. He's not letting it go. He drops his head down, dropped his eyes. Now he's just going to take a sack because he's going to try to run with it. And he takes a sack. Got to be quick with it. Got to make quick decisions. We're going to see it from his vantage point in the pocket, so you could see, and so we could sync it to where Devontae Parker is. When Devontae Parker pops out of the bunch formation, we'll stop it. Right there, he has the crosser. Now he's stepping up right here. Devontae is wide open right now. For whatever reason, you can watch him right here. He has they have it relatively blocked. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-man pressure once again. They have it picked up. For whatever reason, he does not want to get rid of this ball. And he decides, I'm going to run with this. He must have thought he had an easy first down. He thought, okay, let me take this. In the NFL, defensive ends could run. They'll run you down. You had Parker. You needed to throw it to him. All right, this is a very important play, in my opinion. Okay, the score is 10-7. Broncos have the lead. 3:23 left in the half. It's 3rd and 10. The ball is at the 14-yard line. I think this play kind of embodies most of what went wrong on this day, as far as quarterbacking. I'm gonna draw it up again. Draw it up for you. They're up against nickel, and they have safety near the hash, in what looks like a 2-deep look, right? But it's quickly identified as man because you can see that the guys are looking over at each other and they're saying, no, I'm going to have the guy on the inside. They're talking to each other, so it's man, right? So I'm going to pause it, and this is what they're trying to do. Devontae Parker's going to run an out route, and Patrick Lair's going to trail him and release out into the flat and also run a shorter route. By the way, they need this right here for the first down. Right? Okay. Gesicki's running the post, the skinny post. Okay. The Malcolm Perry's going to run like a flag route. And Jakeem is going to threaten as he's going to take his man on the go, but he's going to hook right here near the sticks. This is a route combination that they ran against the Chargers. If you remember, Tua went all the way through his progressions and hit the man that was one-on-one, which was Jakeem Grant. That was last week. We're going to see what happens this week. Let's clear everything out. Remember, it's up against nickel. It is man. We're going to see what Tua does here. And here's the snap. It's recognizing the pressure and what's coming. It's 4-man pressure. And where are we? That's the bottom of his drop. As you can see, the guys have not gotten there yet. But Tua's going to take a step into it, right? There has to be some anticipation. As of right now, what does he really have? What does he really see? He sees that Patrick Laird is coming out against what is essentially a linebacker. And it seems as if Parker has double coverage because the safeties come off the hash and he's picking him up. So if he comes off of all of this and he comes right back here, there's a big window right here to throw into, but that's also a tight throw. But we're going to keep running it and see what he's looking at. And right there, he's kind of set. He has to make a decision. He either has to come off. It seems like he already came off of all of this. So now he's going this way. So what can he do? He has to feel that Gesicki's occupying the safety. Where does he have to go with this football? I would say the flag route. The flag route is where he's going with this football. Because his problem right now is that he's reading this underneath guy. And he's reading this safety. So he feels as if, all right, they've taken away Gesicki. So if they're taking away Gasecki, he has to remember he has numbers over here. It's 1, 2 defenders, 1, 2 wide receivers, and he knows that Jakeem is hooking. So if Jakeem is hooking, the only route he has right here is really the flag route. It's 3rd and 10. He has to recognize it. He has to throw away the football, or at least attempt this. As you can see, he has some time. He has to throw that flag route. He eats it, drops his head again, takes the sack. Not being quick with it. We're going to see it from his point of view so you can see how it turned out. And we're going to slow it down. You're going to be able to see what he sees also, as far as underneath coverage and where he's going with the football. Okay, it's obvious he's coming off of Parker. That's where he wants to go originally. But he's looking at it and he's off of it. And now he's looking over and he pulls it down. You saw he pulled it down? Didn't want to throw the Gasecki route, but he ate it when it was time. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Okay. Right there. Coming off of Parker. Coming off of Parker. See? Coming off of Parker. Going to Gasecki. He's off of Gasecki. Right there, he has to throw the flag route. But he drops his head, drops his eyes, takes a sack. A bit indecisive. He had to throw that flag route. Likely not completed, but he had to get rid of it. All right, the score is 10-10. There's 2 minutes left in the second quarter. It's 2nd down and 5. The ball's at the 16-yard line. This is another important play in this game. This drive ends up with 3 points for the Broncos. They proved to be decisive. You wanted to get out of there tied, especially when you have them pinned at their own 16-yard line with 2 minutes left. You like your defense in this spot, but they give up a field goal drive. So let's see what is happening here. They are in 11 personnel. I'm going to run it slow so you can see it. They're in 11 personnel, and the Dolphins are in nickel, and they're playing single high because there's 2 minutes left in the game. They're respecting the passing game, but they're also in nickel. But they do something different. Okay, what do they do different? This is the mic right here. Okay, and he's not calling anything as of right now because they have Raekwon Davis right up on the nose. Okay, but what they're going to do is pretty simple. It's a called play. It's not an RPO. It's a called play. And what they're trying to do is trying to release their tight end into the second level, trying to block down on these guys, and they're going to pull the guard out, and they're going to give Melvin Gordon the ball to run it right through this lane right here. Now, how do you defeat it? Well, you can defeat it by the Mike recognizing this tendency and flexing out his defensive linemen, putting guys in the B gaps, right? And maybe calling Lita, which is to the left, or Rosie to the right, which is a shift, okay? But that's all really up to the mic. But we're going to run it so you can see what happens, and then we're going to see it from the defense's point of view. And we're going to run it kind of fast so you can see it. There's the counter. Risner hits his block, and there's Melvin Gordon. That's 25 yards. Now we're going to see it from this point of view. As you can see right here, here's the mic, right? Now, what does he really have to do in this instance, okay? In this instance, what do they have? Like, if the run is coming this way, it's going to be outside zone, especially the way that they're lined up, right? So they have that covered, and they can flow to the ball well there if it's outside zone. But it's not, because they've been showing that tendency the whole way. And what they're doing, of course, is like they're blocking down. And it's always bad news when you have a tackle hitting your defensive tackle. That's always bad news. Raekwon Davis is a head up on the center, and they're pulling, and they're going to run it. Of course, they're also releasing Noah Fant to the second level to get a block, and they're going to run it right in this alley. They hit every single block on this play. This is just poor defense. Nobody won on this play. And we're going to run it, and I'm going to run it so you can see the action. There's the blocks. See it? Look at the blocks. Everybody got hit, and they hit that one too. And look at where Melvin Gordon is. He's off and running. So how do you defeat this? Let's go back to the snap. Okay. This is your Mike Backer, right? He has to either call Lita, which is left, or Rosie, which is right. And what would happen then is that guys would scoot over one gap. So this would be head up on the tackle, and Raekwon Davis will get into the A gap, and then he will get head up on the guard. And in this instance, almost always what you would have is that the safety will come down somewhere around here. But that's if you're expecting run, right? But they're in 11 personnel, so they're probably going to pass. Correct? Well, no. You have to have some anticipation. And the anticipation that you may have here is that you have the tackle, the right tackle, with his fingers in the ground, and all of these guys, the guard, the center, the other guard, and then you have the left tackle leaning, looking in. Obviously, he's trying to get this hit right here. The Mike has to recognize this. And if he recognizes this, he might get up and say, okay, I see the lean, Lita. If that happens, they scoot over one gap and they defeat the play call. They don't. They stay exactly where they are. Simply put, Atlanta Roberts is not Zach Thomas. They stay exactly where they are. And the play call comes off perfectly. As you can see, everybody's blocked. And look how they get this kick out on Van Noy. And they're running the play right in the alley. It's a safety with Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon is going to win that. Bobby McCain does well to stop the damage at 25 yards. All right, this is the decisive play of the game. It's a 2-minute warning. You're down 20-13. You need a touchdown here. You're at the 17-yard line, and you have 1st and 10. So you got to feel good about your chances at this point. This is the decisive play. We're going to wait for them to get set, and then we're going to run the play really, really slow so you can see what they're trying to do. They're up against dime, okay? Denver played a lot of nickel, but Dolphins are threatening on this drive, and they're trying to keep him out of the end zone. So what they're going to do right here is that they're going to run Parker up the sideline. Not out of bounds, but up the sideline. Let me draw a little bit better than that. Okay, they're going to try to run him up the sideline. And they're going to delay Malcolm Perry out toward the sticks. Jakeem Grant is going to hook short. Savon Ahmed is going to take his man deep. And Gesicki is going to cut under him. Right? Gesicki has to read two things. If the outside man is hooking, he's going to the flag. If the outside man is on the go route, he has to cut it under. He cannot go over, because if you go over, there's two guys in between two Denver defenders. And you essentially defeat the route combination on your own. He has to cut it under. Let's see what happens on the play. We're going to run it slow so you can see it. And right there, Fitzpatrick is making a call. And we're going to run it slow. Did he have anything else, really? Well, no, he's coming off of this, so he kind of knows where he's going with the ball. Right there, we're all in good shape right now, right? Everything's in good shape, but the ball's already in the air. And for whatever reason, Gesicki, and let's run it back. Let's run it back. Let's run it slow. Right there's the throw, right? And you see it right there? See it? Gesicki has to cut it under. Instead of cutting it under, we already have the go route here. Maybe Fitzpatrick just throws this go route, although it doesn't have a high likelihood of success. If you wanted to throw a go route, you have Devontae Parker up here, of which you could get. Everybody's essentially really covered. But Gesicki's not. Why isn't Mike Gesicki covered? Because he's 6'6". And he's being defended by a guy who's 5'11". Okay? If he undercuts this ball's coming in high, this is already a go route. This man is not coming off of his man. Fitzpatrick knows that. That's why he throws with anticipation. But Gesicki, if he cuts in front of his man, has a touchdown. He doesn't. He runs toward the flag. And now he has to make an acrobatic defense of the ball. That essentially cost them the tie. That should have been a touchdown if Mike Gesicki undercuts it. We're going to see it from Fitzpatrick's point of view. And we're going to run it at normal speed. And we're going to stop it. And there's the throw. He does well to get that off, by the way. And there's Gesicki incorrectly running that route. He undercuts it. He cuts his route short and toward the pylon. He scores. Big mistake. Cost him the tie. I'll talk to you guys next week.